On the outskirts of the quiet town of Brimrose lived Eidan, a 22-year-old who spent most of his nights awake, sitting on the rooftop and staring at the sky. The world below him felt blurry, but the stars above were the only things that ever made sense. But on one cold night, something impossible happened. The stars didn't show up. The sky, usually sprinkled with silver, looked like a blank page. No shimmer, no glow, no comfort, just darkness. Eidan blinked hard, rubbed his eyes, even checked for clouds. Nothing. Only a silent, starless sky. A strange chill climbed up his spine, one he had never felt before, as if the universe itself had paused just to breathe. Down the narrow streets, people slowly emerged from their homes, confused, whispering, staring upward with knitted brows. Even the street dogs stopped barking. Eidan whispered to himself, "The stars never forget." But tonight, they had. And that's when his old radio, broken for months, crackled to life. A trembling voice whispered through it. "If the sky goes dark, someone has stopped believing." Eidan froze. The voice wasn't human. It wasn't mechanical. It sounded like something between a sigh and a heartbeat. Before he could think, the radio went dead again, and the night remained starless. The next morning was strangely bright, too bright. Even the birds sounded out of rhythm, singing shorter, quieter tunes. Eidan walked to the old bookstore where he worked. The owner, an older woman named Ravyn, greeted him with her usual smile, but today her hands shook as she cleaned the counter. She said softly, "Last night I felt like the world lost something." Eidan didn't answer, he just nodded, because he felt it too. Around noon, as he was sorting through dusty shelves, something fluttered down from above, a thin envelope yellowed around the edges. It wasn't there earlier. It wasn't something he had touched. It simply appeared. Eidan opened it slowly. No name, no address, only one sentence. "Find the one who lost the light." He opened it slowly. Inside was a small scrap of paper with coordinates, a location deep inside the abandoned fields outside Brimrose, where no one lived anymore. His heart thumped. He didn't believe in fate, but fate seemed to believe in him. By late evening, Eidan reached the field. It was quiet, dry, almost ghostly. Grass that once danced with wind now stood stiff and dull. And at the center, sitting alone on an old fallen tree, was a girl around his age. She wore a long gray coat, boots covered in dust, and her hair fell in soft waves, dark as ink. But the strangest thing wasn't her appearance. It was the ground beneath her. She had no shadow. The sun behind her shone clearly, but the ground stayed empty. Eidan's breath caught. She turned her head slightly, noticing him. "Did you come because of the stars?" she asked, her voice soft, almost afraid of being heard by the world. "Yes," Eidan replied. "Did you make them disappear?" She smiled faintly, not proud, not sad, just tired. "No," she said, "but I know why they're gone." She stood up slowly, brushing dust from her coat. "My name is Selene." And then she added, "And the stars vanished because someone's hope did." Selene wasn't ordinary. Eidan knew it. She didn't speak like someone from their world. Her eyes held something ancient, like she had watched hundreds of dawns and still counted each one. Eidan sat on the dry grass as Selene explained. "The stars don't shine because they are bright," she whispered. "They shine because hearts believe in them." Eidan hesitated. "That sounds impossible." "And yet," she said, looking at the sky, "you saw it happen." He couldn't argue. Selene closed her eyes, inhaling deeply. "A heart in Brimrose has shattered so badly that its darkness swallowed the entire sky." Eidan frowned. "Whose heart?" Selene looked at him with quiet sadness. "That's why you're here," she said. "You're going to help me find them." He swallowed hard. "Why me?" "Because," she whispered, "you're the only person who noticed the stars disappearing before the world did." Eidan had no explanation. He simply felt it. The universe chose him, or cursed him. He wasn't sure which. Selene followed Eidan back to Brimrose. As they entered the town, they walked past people who looked normal on the outside, but their eyes carried something heavy, something unspoken. A mother scolding her child but wiping tears away when he wasn't looking. An old man sitting outside his house, staring at the empty sky instead of carving wood like he usually did. A teenage boy kicking stones along the road, pretending he wasn't trying not to cry. Selene whispered, "So many hearts aching, but only one heart powerful enough to affect the sky." They split up, talking to people, searching for a sign, an emotional collapse so deep that it stole every star. Hours passed. Nothing. But then, as night approached, Eidan felt something tug at him, like gravity, but softer, like a whisper pulling inside his chest. His feet moved before his mind did. He walked down a quiet street, then another, and then he stopped in front of a small house with cracked paint and an old wooden gate. Selene appeared beside him, breathless. "You feel it too?" she asked. Eidan nodded. Inside that house was the heartbreak powerful enough to darken the heavens. Inside the house, everything smelled like dust and quiet sorrow. But what struck Eidan the most were the walls. They were covered in letters, hundreds of them, thousands, pinned, taped, tucked into cracks, all handwritten. A girl sat on the floor hugging her knees. Her name was Ravyn. She didn't look up. Her hair hid her face. Her fingers trembled around an old photograph. Eidan kneeled gently. "Ravyn, did you write all of these?" She nodded slightly. Selene walked around the room, touching one of the letters. Each one began with, "I miss you." Ravyn whispered, "He was my twin brother, and he died last winter. I keep writing to him because I can't let him go." Her voice cracked like thin ice. "And yesterday, I realized he'll never write back." The room tightened around Eidan. Her grief was so heavy it felt physical. Selene whispered to him, "She's the one." Her heart drowned the stars. Eidan didn't know what to say. He had never lost someone like Ravyn had, but he understood loneliness, emptiness, the silent places inside a person where pain likes to hide. He sat beside her, close enough to show presence, far enough not to overwhelm her. And then, gently, he asked, "Do you want to tell me about him?" Ravyn lifted her head, just a little. No one had asked her that in months. She talked about his laugh, his stupid jokes, how he used to steal her snacks, how he dreamed of traveling the world, how she couldn't sleep the first night he was gone. Her voice shook but kept going, like she needed someone to hear her before she drowned in silence. Selene listened quietly, her hands folded in front of her. When Ravyn finally stopped talking, her eyes glassy with exhaustion, Eidan said, "You don't have to forget him to keep living. You just need to remember that you're still here." Ravyn's lips trembled. "But the pain means he mattered," Eidan whispered. "And love doesn't end when someone leaves." A tear slid down her cheek, but this time she didn't wipe it. Selene stepped forward and placed her hand gently over Ravyn's heart without touching her skin. A warm light formed between them, faint at first, then growing brighter, softer. Ravyn gasped. She wasn't being healed, she wasn't forgetting, she was being allowed to breathe. Selene stepped back, her face pale. "It's not enough," she weakly said. "Ravyn needs to release her last letter." The last one, the one she had been too scared to write. Eidan handed her a blank paper. Ravyn stared at it for a long moment. Then her hand shook as she began writing. Her tears fell, but she didn't stop. When she finished, she folded the letter and held it to her chest. "I'm not saying goodbye," she whispered. "I'm saying thank you." She opened her window and released the letter into the wind. And somewhere above, the sky breathed. One star appeared, then another, then hundreds. The night lit up like a miracle. Ravyn cried into her hands, but for the first time, they were healing tears. Eidan turned to Selene, smiling for the first time that night. "We did it." But Selene didn't smile back. Her body was fading, bit by bit, like dust carried by light. "You're disappearing?" Eidan asked, panic rising. She nodded softly. "I was never alive the way you are. I existed because the stars did." Eidan's eyes widened. "You were a part of the night sky?" She whispered, "A guardian of belief. When people lose hope, I appear. When hope returns, I no longer need to stay." Eidan took a step forward, his voice cracking. "But I need you." Selene shook her head gently. "No, you needed to believe again, and now you do." Her hand reached toward his cheek, warm, fading, trembling. "Thank you for helping me save the sky." "Selene," his voice broke, "I'll remember you." And she smiled, soft, full, eternal. "That's all I ever wanted." In a final shimmer, she disappeared completely, and the stars above shone brighter than ever. Ravyn healed slowly. Eidan visited her often. Brimrose became a town that watched the night sky every evening. And Eidan? Some nights, when the wind is quiet and the world feels gentle, he hears a soft whisper in the dark. "Thank you." He looks at the brightest star in the sky, and he smiles, because he knows she's still watching. Some people leave, some people fade, but the love they give stays like starlight, even when the sky goes dark. You don't lose someone by grieving. You honor them by learning how to breathe again. Good night.